2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is presented by Rady Children's Hospital, voted one of the top 10 children's hospitals in America. Top one on the West Coast. Welcome to Southern California. My name is Brad Challoner. It is Germany and Japan, the first round of the playoffs of these 2023 Men's Championships. Germany coming into this tournament ranked 9th in the world, Japan 6th. This will be the best competition they've seen yet after dominating pool play. The goaltender for the Germans has been one of their sturdiest players. Misha Zinoviev will get the start for the Germans. The Hamburg native competed for this team at sixes and is up first today. He split the majority of his time with Fellenbacher, so expect a heavy dose maybe of both those goaltenders, perhaps a halftime switch depending on how things are going. For Japan, their starting goaltender is Soya Hokomasu. Look at these numbers, or listen to these numbers. 176 minutes played, so almost 3 full games. 0.68 goals against average. I am not making that up. This has been an absolute offensive and defensive dominant performance this tournament by Japan. He has 17 saves, which means he hasn't been tested a lot. 89.5 save percentage for Soya Tokumasu. They score 17.5 goals a game. They allow 1.5 through pool play. The Germans, they score 9.75. That's in the top 10 in the tournament. And they allow 6.5 per game, which is upper echelon as well. They've been led by their long pole defenders, Matthias Lehner and Marius Boots. They'll get some help from Zinoviev as we are underway in the playoffs. A clean face-off win that Japan's going to take right down into the offensive zone. They play fast. They move the ball well. Feet always moving. It'll be Germany's toughest test. They fell in the first game of the tournament against Jamaica and then won 3 in a row. New Zealand, Poland, and Switzerland to get themselves here into the playoff round of the World Championship. Japan, it's tough to find a spot where they haven't been dominant, so I'm curious to see how they're going to stack up against the German opponent. They've won face-off battles. They've got the ridiculous goals against average and the save percentage. They have the highest scoring players in the tournament. And they have the ball on offense, and this time they'll methodically work it around. 1 minute gone, haven't charged towards goal yet. As Koki Gautu will take a swing. Pass to the leading goal scorer of the tournament, Shinya Tateshi, and Zinoviev has his first stop of the game. That all-important first shot, first save, help build some momentum for your club. Japan also leads the tournament in shots on goal. They take almost 40 a game, and they've got 1 in the first 60 seconds. Germany coughs up the ball on their offensive end as Dai Suto chops it free, and Japan's off to the races in transition. The long pole, Soriyama to Shinya Tateshi, scored 16 goals in 4 games, a hat trick every night here at the 2023 World Championships. 26 points to go along with his 10 assists and 40 shots on goal from that man alone. Ball goes behind the net for Kazuki Obana. He had 4 goals in pool play. He's being watched by the German midfielder Schilling. Tries to come around top side. Obana. Schilling keeping him at bay. Germany happy to drop into a zone. They can lock off at times with number 4 and number 10. Lehner and Boots. Muramatsu will work the perimeter. To Suzuki. Junichi Suzuki. Up from the Sixes squad in 2022. And he wears 22. Around top side. Looking for the shot was Muramatsu. Over to Tateshi. And a sustained offensive set as Obana comes around top side. Shot inside, a second save for Zinoviev, who's got two in tight. Japan not used to being stopped yet this tournament. And with every stop, Germany will show a pulse and feel good about their chances. Thanks for tuning in on ESPN Plus. We say good evening in Munich. Good morning in Tokyo. And good afternoon from Southern California, San Diego. Germany will try some offensive pressure from Jakob Bokerman, the midfielder, with the long hair draping down the back of his jersey. Florian Werner being watched by Hanai. German horns tooting below us as a stutter step from Per Olters, the German leading scorer. He had 11 in round robin. That was top 10 in pool play. Inside looking for a shovel shot. Kept at bay by the Japanese long pole Soriyama. Germany will re-engage. Winton Bastian, their second leading scorer through pool play. A San Diego native. Bastian, one more pass. As they pull out. Florian Werner down low, battling inside, good defense. And Adam Eakins, Germany's leading scorer in 2018, will engage. Eakins catches his man, shovels it! And the first shot by the Germans is stopped. Tokamasu keeps it 0-0, 5 minutes gone. Two shots by Japan, one shot from the Germans. And an entertaining start. The two teams feel each other out. Japan's been the talk of the tourney with the dominating pool play. And they'll engage on offense, Hiroki Kenyana. Another player with 16 goals on this team to lead the tournament. Watch for 11, watch for 3. As Kenyana has it right now. 23 shots on goal for Kenyana. Kicks it back to Tateshi. He'll roll, gets top side, pass inside, picked off by the German long pole. Ben Issa will go for a run. As a man ahead of the play in Anton Nutzman. And Ben Issa will hand off to the offense. With this no shot clock approach to this tournament, every possession so important. If you make a stop like that and you get the ball, now you're going to kill maybe 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes off the clock. Possession so key, and big defensive plays like that have proven to be difference makers at this championship. And Ben Issa at Maryville U has a picked off pass, and Germany in the offensive zone. Per Olters to Bastian. Jukes his way topside, fires one, stick save. Hokamasu transitions the ball to midfield. Two saves on both sides of the field. Shot from the outside, and Zinoviev stopped that one. Japan will change their midfielders as Tatieshi slows it down. Lena will try to lock off on him. Matthias Lena had 3 caused turnovers in pool play. Standout long pole for the German D. Januki. Suzuki. Back to Suzuki, switches hands, pass down low, Tateshi drops it. Bumped aside by Lena. They're going to say loose ball push, the ball will remain with Japan. They escape from a flag, and we will go to timeout. 0-0, 7:09 to go, first quarter. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship from San Diego, California. Two shots apiece, two saves on either side in a heavyweight playoff matchup between Germany and Japan. Tatieshi in the offense will settle in out of the TV timeout, a chance to regroup, talk to their head coach, figure out what kind of action they want to get going. 7 minutes to go, first quarter. Okamura ties up his man behind the net. Nice recovery by Boots. And he'll kick to the top of the zone. Muramatsu will go for a run. He'll switch hands. He'll fire. And that ends up out of play off the stick of Zinoviev. Zinoviev, 9 saves in pool play, 45% save percentage. As Junikai Suzuki will go to work. Pick set, kicks to the top. Muramatsu, he'll try to go one-on-one. He'll fire off the crossbar. Ball bounces out of play. Japan closest to the ball at the point of exit, so they will retain possession. Homoki Omahara. He's got a man in Muramatsu open, but he goes to 22, Junikai Suzuki. Suzuki goes for a run. Good slide by Fallenbacher. Stays with them, tries to pry the hands, and it's flinged across field. Muramatsu looking. German midfielder on him. Kicks it back up topside for Tateshi. Fakes one way, cuts the other, tries to battle his way inside, and the ball's coughed up as Mateus Lena with another good defensive play. Germany in transition, 5:18 to go. Schilling. Delas Volkortsen has had a good tournament. 6 goals in pool play for the man up from the U21 squad. Led his team in scoring there, and now putting up good numbers against senior competition. Well, Lucas Kins and the Germans will slow it down. They're okay with lengthy possessions against a team that they know can fill the back of the net. Pass picked up by Anton Nutzman. Pass around top sides, picked off by the Japanese, and they're on the run. Tomoya Sereyana. Does he want to step into one? He does, and he scores! Pull goal from deep, and Japan's on the board first, 1-0. Their offense has put up godly numbers in pool play, but they get their first strike of the day from the defender. Tomoya Sorayama picks off a pass and goes coast to coast. Brings the Japanese bench to life. There is no stopping a shot that's coming hard and fast out of a long pole. 1-0 Japan. Unlikely characters come to life in big moments in playoff games like this. Sorayama playing in his first World Championship. One of the biggest games he's ever played is he was not listed on the 6s squad or the 18 team. And that's what we love about playoff lacrosse. Good tight atmosphere to start. Japanese face-off win. They'll control on offense with 3:09 to go in the first quarter. Hiroki Kanea. Far side of the field from Omahara. Pass down low to Okamura. Kicks it up top. Kanea shoots. Zinoviev with another save. He'll go for a bit of a run here. Ducks underneath his defender. Battling at midfield And Zinoviev with the successful clear and a long run back to his goal. The round of applause from the German bench and the German fans. Mika Zinoviev. Germany with the ball and 2:10 to go. First quarter action from Rady Field on the first day of the playoffs. We had some 10 a.m. placement games. Now the playoffs are underway. Jakob Bokerman out of the midfield. Behind the net for Lasse Volkortsen. High pass. Werner will keep it. Across field for Per Olters. He'll spin to the inside. Kicks it over. Bastian will try to wake his way to the middle. Back to Olters. Florian Werner to Bokerman. Hard outside shot. Scores! Jakob Bokerman out of the midfield. Ties it at 1. And the Germans celebrate. Jakob Bokerman on the nice feed from Florian Werner, who'll pick up an assist. He draws his defender out, and that opens up that space for Jakob Bokerman. Just his second of the World Championship. And if they can get some goals out of their midfield, it could be a difference maker for Germany. Procedure called on Japan. Germans will have the ball. Final 45 seconds in the first quarter. Don't think they want to burn a timeout this early. No, it's Japan ball, excuse me, as that pass went out. They'll bring it up the field where they want to burn a timeout early. De Soto across midfield, and they will. "26 seconds as we got to look at head coach Suzuki for Japan. And they'll try to draw up a go-ahead goal in the dying seconds of an entertaining first quarter. If you thought this was going to be a blowout, no signs of that through 15. And the longer Germany can hang around a team that was dominant in pool play, plant that seed of doubt. Japan will be in unfamiliar territory as this game wears on if they don't pull ahead like they have in the other contests. Germany debuted in this tournament in 1998. They've been as high as 6th overall in the world. Japan's been as high as 5th. They debuted one tournament earlier in 94. And a lot of people think Japan could be hanging with the teams in A pool, competing with England and Australia. But they'll have to get a win here today to do that, and a date with the Haudenosaunee if they can get past Hong Kong. Winner of this game will play the winner of that game. So final possession, first quarter. Ball goes to Umehara. German in the zone defense will keep Umehara to the outside. Skipped it, shoots it high and wide. 5 seconds for one more look at net. Suzuki to the point. Umehara fires, and that one's wide. 1.4. They'll have to be crafty here. Shot, stick saves Zinoviev, and we are deadlocked through 15. Japan won, Germany won. It's the World Lacrosse Men's Championship playoff round on ESPN+. 1-1 through 15. Japan has two players that have been dominant at the face-off dot in this tournament. You're getting a look right now at Ikemishutu Shimada, 73% during pool play. Germany's rolled out a platoon of different scrappers. They don't really have that one guy that's going to win you 55, 60% of draws. They'll throw a couple different looks at you, and this time it was Anton Nutzmann, who wears number 12 for Deutschland. Possession, Zinoviev and Germany in a 1-1 game, second quarter. My name is Brad Challoner. Thanks for staying up late, waking up early, or cheating at work here in North America. Florian Werner, 3 goals in pool play out of Frankfurt. Will play behind the net to Lars Volkortsen, another Frankfurt native up from the U21 squad. Adam Eakins to Winton Bastian. San Diego roots for Winton Bastian. Providence College, kept to the outside. Now Adam Eakins will use his big body to spin. Tries to come around top side. Good defense there by Suno. Shot, bad angle, out of play. But Winton Bastian signed his letter of intent to Providence College at a big event at Petco Park where the San Diego Padres play. Pretty neat experience for 26. Also plays box lacrosse with the Royals down here in San Diego. He's knocked down to the ground, jumps back up to his feet with Hanai watching him. Kicked out to Per Olters. Takes a pick from Bokerman. Per Olters drops his shoulder, tries to fight inside, runs out of real estate on the good follow by Sodiyama. Olters trying to spin away again, gets inside, shoots off the crossbar. Loose ball bounces right into the stick of Hanai. He's off to the races for Japan. They've got one transition goal already. And they look for another from a long pole. Fires one well wide. And they're going to say Zinoviev was there first. Thrown right back into the hands of the Germans. Marius boots to midfield to Zinoviev for help. To Matthias Lehner in his 3rd World Championship. And the Germans will settle in on offense. Winton Bastian to Adam Eakins. Eakins with 3 goals in pool play. Hands off to Lucas Kins. Bright spot for this team. Takes face-offs, wins ground balls, chips in on the offense as well. Young Lucas Kins will wear 7. Out of Kiel, Germany. Fighting to get top side. Down low, shooting, scoring! Good one-on-one battle in tight, and the Germans take the lead 2-1. Kai Sintowski. We talked about guys stepping up from different areas. And Kai Sintowski, who I don't believe scored a goal in pool play, gets one here when it matters the most for Germany. On a nice individual drive to the face-off dot. The Japanese platoon rolls along. As Aishi, he's 79% through pool play. Germany back on possession, up 2-1, 10:28 to go. Second quarter action from Rady Field. Games going on all over SDSU today. The sports deck will be in action. It's going on right now with Puerto Rico and England behind me. The Czechs over Austria in the 10 a.m. start. And a big matchup later on this afternoon between Australia and the Netherlands will play. Haudenosaunee and Hong Kong, the nightcap. And a game I'm really looking forward to, Italy and Jamaica at 4 o'clock. Flooring and Werner to Schilling. The Germans work the perimeter. Eakins, the lone man behind the net at X. Spinning away from trouble. Eakins has it now. Likes that one-on-one matchup down low. Fakes a pass. Still has it. Being posted up with Suno. Back to Werner. Look for those German one-on-one matchups from X with a short stick if they get it, just like that Santowski goal. Bokerman switches hands. To Bastian. Pick. Bastian around. Top center. 9:18 to go. Eakin spins to the inside. Fires one. Stick save. Tokamasu. Tokamasu on the slow clear. Japan was perfect clearing the ball through 4 pool play games. And their one goal right now coming from the defender, Sudayama. Gotao in their first real settled offensive set of this half. Streaking in from the midfield, Kerea. Behind the net through X to Hakazaki. Good defense by Fallenbacher to keep Gotu at bay. He'll try to go one-on-one. Boots is there for the help. And Japan still controls on the perimeter. Behind the net, Suto likes his one-on-one matchup against Schilling. Tries to get topside, rolls, looks, and kicks it back out for Kanea. Kanea fires one! Shoots around his defender. He's got a hot stick, 17th of the tournament. We're tied at 2, 7:37 to go. Second quarter action from Rady Field. It's the World Lacrosse Men's Championship from San Diego. The 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is sponsored by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast and ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in America. Welcome back to Rady Field. We thank them for their support. We thank you for watching on ESPN+. My name is Brad Challoner. We have a tie game between Germany and Japan with 7:37 to go. Second quarter action. There's a few games this tournament. Japan was probably up by 10 by this point. But the Germans keeping it deadlocked right now. Ground ball battle out the midfield, won by Japan, and they'll get the offensive possession after scoring a goal. That all-important momentum possession. But a ball, as Marius Boots applies a little pressure. Japan has it. Germany with 3 members caught back. Japan doesn't have the numbers to make anything happen on that set. So Tateshi will slow and wait for his midfielders. Jonichi Suzuki rather. Played at 6s. Impressive thing about this Japanese squad, they only have 3 members of this team from their 2018 team. That shows the depth of this nation. That they can roll almost a full different roster. Shot is blocked. Another one that doesn't make its way through is Ben Isa. Turns it away. Japan still in possession though. As Tateshi goes to Morimatsu. Watched by Peter Wittmann. Morimatsu, top side, slides over. Nothing there for Okamoro. Tateshi. Short stick matchup. Does he want to take it? He's got Wittman right now. He takes him low inside. Pass goes wide. See, they'll let that short stick matchup happen for a second, then rely on Lena and Boots to slide over and help. Body to body. Suzuki takes a poke. Lena with the tap. And then Schilling again matched up as a strip from behind. Marius Boots causes a turnover and he's off to the races. The ride from the Japan though, Hanai strips him. He flips it back. Ground ball at center for Lena. Matthias Lena tucks away from a check. The quick-footed Japanese ride almost forces Germany to cough it up. As David Beckman and the Germans call a timeout after they get possession back. Under 5 to go, second quarter. As the Germans celebrate and appreciate their defense. Really been the thing that they've been built around in this tournament. I believe their two leaders, Marius Boots and Matthias Lena. David Beckman as well, Ben Isa, Klein Hempel. Really their whole defensive core has been very impressive for this German squad, and a reason why they're here in the playoff round and they're in a tie game with Japan with under 5 to go the second quarter. Zinoviev hasn't been tested a ton in this quarter, and now Japan will have to find a good defensive stand of their own. With Suno, Kanayama, and Tomoya Soriyama, who had that big play early in the game. We get a look at the defensive core for Japan. They'll roll 4 poles here at the long stick midfielder. And the German attack will go to work under 5, looking for their second lead after leading 2-1. On a goal from Kai Sentowski. Ball will start. The opposite corner on the hot field with Winton Bastian in a one-on-one matchup with a short stick. Bastian. Being watched by Hanai. Bastian still low. Up top to Volkordsen. Jakob Bokerman tied the game at 1 for Germany. And he'll trot it in deep. He's got quick feet. He's got a one-on-one matchup now with the short stick, Daisuto. Werner. Jump shot. Olters scores! Per Olters on the outside shot, and the Germans are up 3-2. Bokerman up top, cross the field to a running, cutting, step down shot from Per Olters. 12th of the championship, top 10 in goal scoring through a pool play. As a go-ahead goal for Germany in the playoffs. Germany, a team that's gotten better with every game. You can see their offense starting to hum. Florian Werner picks up his second assist. He's been the distributor today. And Japan will look to answer back under 3. Each team with still a timeout to use in this half. Homeki Umahara. Koki Gotao. Pick set by Umahara. They go across the field to the last Japanese goal scorer, Kanea, who had 16 in round pool play, which is ridiculous through 4 games. Tateshi also has 16. He likes his matchup. Cuts inside, pass behind the net. Obana. Umahara. Every Japanese player getting a touch as Gotao will go to work. Gotao one-on-one. Good slide by Lena. Boots stands his ground. Ben Isa. And Nutzman out to challenge. Nutzman stick in the air. It's picked up by Tateshi. He'll throw it. And it's stopped by Zinoviev. Minute 36 to go. Does Germany want another timeout? Probably wait till they cross midfield. Take some time here. Marius Boots. Zinoviev. Just milking the clock until they get to midfield, if they can get it there safely. We saw Zinoviev go for a run earlier. He might have to do that again on a hot field at SDSU. Good ride by Japan. Zinoviev in some trouble, has to throw it away. And now Marius Boots with a head of steam to midfield. This Japan ride really confusing the Germans right now. They're trying to figure out how to get it to midfield. Marius Boots slows it down. And they call a timeout as they're in trouble. Japanese ball. I believe there might have been an offside there on Germany. Japan will call a timeout, getting the ball back because the stalwarting on the German team clearing. They were in trouble at the midfield on the Japanese ride, so they had to play the ball back, and that's why it's in the hands of Japan right now. So they will get the last shot here, under 30. Stop time under 30 in the first, second, and third quarters. Germany with one more timeout. But a good ride by Japan as Germany were trying to take their time to get to midfield. And it came back to bite them. Well, Japanese team will try to tie it at 3 at the half. Right now, the go-ahead goal to Per Olters. Mika Zinoviev in between the pipes. That's 6x6 net for Germany. Last offensive set of the quarter for Japan. Can they deadlock it? Tateshi. They keep sending Schilling and relying on the slide. This is the matchup they like. They like Schilling and Wittmann, their defensive midfielders, on some of these Japanese all-stars. Pass inside for Tateshi. It sails wide. 5 seconds to go. Germany's there first. The Hail Mary to come from Zinoviev as he lobs one. 60 yards upfield. Eakins is after it, and the Germans lead through 30. 3-2 at halftime, Germany and Japan. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship from San Diego on ESPN+. 24 degrees Celsius on Rady Field in San Diego, California. Welcome back to the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. My name is Brad Challoner. Second half action. Japan in uncharted waters right now. They trail Germany 3-2 through 30 minutes. It was a pretty easy, to say the least, round robin for Japan as they beat France 15-2, Uganda 18-0, Wales 14-1, and Denmark 23-3. The Germans have been getting better every game after their opening night loss to Jamaica, providing the best competition Japan has seen. See if they can adjust at half, try to get their offense going. I think this defense by Germany in their zone, the help from their long poles, and their physical presence. A little too much for Japan in the first 30 minutes, but this offense, we know they can start swinging the ball, using their feet, finding that speed and tempo they had during pool play. They can get right back into it. Japan has switched their goaltender at half. They're going to roll out Shogu Oshima. And Zinoviev will remain in between the wickets for Germany as Tateshi takes a shot. That one off a cleat and bounces favorably to Anton Nutzman. Nutzman across midfield. Chant start from the German bench. Nutzman will go for a change. They'll wait for the right midfield attack to come on. One of those players, Winton Bastian. Per Olters with the go-ahead goal right now. The jumper from top center will go to Winton Bastian, up from the U21 squad. Bastian and Florian Werner has two helpers today. Bolkerman. Pass behind the net through X with some speed for Germany as they start to work the ball around the horn. Bolkerman always starts out deep, tries to get a lane on his defender. That's Daisuto watching him. Bolkerman kicks back up to the point, and it's picked off. Japanese long pole, Kiyoshi Suno will get across midfield. Do they have another pole goal in them? Pass down low to Teshi to the inside. Shot goes wide. On the take from Taiga Hirosu. Japan back on offense. Amora Matsu. 7 goals in pool play. To Okamura. Three minutes gone, third quarter. Pass behind the net for Japan. That one's off the basket of Zinoviev. Japan retains possessions. Man behind the net, Okamura, barking out orders. As Suzuki tries to get around Bolkerman. Does. Schilling slides over, keeps him at bay. Pass to the open man. Shot, stick, save, Zinoviev. Lobs it to midfield. Who's there for the ground ball? And Japan comes up with the big GB at midfield to get their possession back. Germany was a strong ground ball team in pool play. 81 loose pills for 6th overall in the tournament. Out of the 30 teams that were here, and our first flag comes in the third quarter. Don't mind that here at the World Lacrosse Championship. No look pass through traffic. Shot stings the defender out of play. And Japan will go to the man up. Believe this nugget, if you will. Japan scored 70 goals in 4 games in pool play, just 2 of those coming on the man up. They didn't get a lot of man-up opportunities. But still, 2 of 70 is a shocking number through pool play. We'll see what they can do here. 6 on 5. 4 German long poles swinging their swords through traffic to disrupt a pass, and that one sails over Obana's stick. Kanea to Gotau. They're counting down the seconds left in the penalty time. The ball is rolling on the goal line. Where is it? It's going to be a goal. I believe that went off a German stick and trickled in past Zinoviev. And with 5 minutes gone in the third quarter, Japan gets a lucky bounce. See Tateshi from behind that. Oh, went right into Zinoviev's stick and into the back of the net. Mika Zinoviev will not be pleased about that one. But Tateshi will take it. We are tied. Clean face-off win by Kaiji Victor Aishi. 79% in pool play, went 35 of 44. As Shugo Ashima lobs the ball to midfield, and Omahara will go to work. Junichi Suzuki to the top to Gotau. Gets around his defender. Schilling pushes him aside. Japan re-engaging on the attack. Umahara being watched by a strong defensive midfielder, Patrick Schilling, out of Frankfurt. Thanks for staying up late. Watch parties all over Germany. Appreciate you guys tuning in on ESPN+. Prost to you. Pass inside, quick stick, airborne, tap in for Kazuki Obana. And Japanese have their first lead since 1-0. It's 4-3. 7:48 to go, quarter number 3 from Rady Field. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship on ESPN+. The 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship is sponsored by Rady Children's Hospital, the largest children's hospital on the West Coast and ranked among the 10 best children's hospitals in the nation. We thank them for their support of this amazing World Championship thus far. Opening day of playoffs and pool placement games. It's our 1 o'clock Pacific slate, and lots of lacrosse left to go this afternoon. Some games I'm hoping to take in, like Italy and Jamaica, Haudenosaunee, Hong Kong, and another face-off win for Japan, this time with some urgency, but it's picked off by Beckman. Johnny on the spot. David Beckman gets possession back for Germany should they successfully clear to midfield. It feels like when they take their time, they get in trouble. As the Japan, very smart team on the ride. The faster Germany can clear, the more successful they have been. But when they're slow and methodical, Japan is easy to smother the field. To the German attack, 7:08 to go, third quarter. Germany led 3-2. They've surrendered the last 2 goals. To Shinya Tateshi and Kazuki Obana. Germany from X. Kai Santowski. Peralter is being watched by a pole. Pick set by Volkwartsen. They engage from the opposite side. Back and forth across the top of the offense. Peralters. Another pick by Volkwartsen. Moves it. Shot. And got a piece to sail out of play off of Oshima. Shogu Oshima with a 3.8 goals against. Silly numbers in the tournament for both Japanese netminders. Now a step from Olter, stripped. Fights his way through it. Doubled, tripled, still has it, kicks out. Quick ball rotation can find an open slot here for Germany. Last Volkwartsen to Eakins. Lurking at the top of the zone is Simon Wimmer. As they let Sintowski try to battle one-on-one with Hanai. Pushes him away from the top side. And now Volkwartsen. Pick set, takes it. Winton Bashin is stripped by the Japanese long pole, Katsumi Sejuno. Not to the goaltender, and Japan will clear after a successful takeaway. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Japan back on top by 1. They led 1-0. Germany led 2-1 and 3-2. Now here we are, no one pulling away just yet. Tori Muramatsu to Hiroki Kanaya. Hard shot from the outside, bouncers will go. Janucci Suzuki puts Japan up 5-3 on a hard outside skipper. 3 in a row from Japan. Out of the midfield and into the back of the net as Zinoviev goes down. 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Schilling will take a wing, as will Peter Wittmann, as Ishii has been dominant. This time Beckman gets on his hands, ground ball procedure on the Germans. Japan will have it in a flag. I believe we're going to get an unsportsmanlike here on Eakins. And Japan back to the man up. Thirty-second technical on a legal procedure. For Tateshi, sails it to Chula Vista. Penalty almost expiring. Those 30s go by quick. As Tateshi skips it across to Umahara. Shot from the inside goes wide. On Okamura. Back to 6-on-6. Germany in a 2-goal hole. 3 in a row in the third quarter for Japan as Kanea engages. He comes around topside, sails it high. Okamura, chased by Beckman. Gotau drops a shoulder. Kicks it across to Kanea. No look pass, dropped by Obana. He's being chased by Marius Boots into the corner. Kanea uses a pick. Lena has it, back to Tateshi. Under 2. So here's that look again where the midfielder challenges, and then the German long pole nearest will slide for help if Tateshi tries to get a lane. But right now Schilling is the one spotting Tateshi. Turns his back on him now. With a minute 20 to go in the third quarter, that's been all Japan. Stall on for Japan as they quickly cut in. Obana takes a shot. Zinoviev to save. Germany in some trouble clearing again. As we get under 1 minute. Beckman. He's got a man at midfield. And Winton Bastian in Germany will have a quick go. 45 seconds in the quarter. A timeout available to them. But they might want to save it for crunch time. Florian Werner takes it deep. Stagnant feet on the German offense right now as they stack the middle. They like Werner to go one-on-one against this short stick. Spinning. Bokerman through the middle. Werner still posted up. 13 seconds to go. Adam Eakins will take his turn. Switches hands. Dishes off. Werner running out of time. Good defense here by Japan. One last shot. It stings rather the back of Taiga Hirosu. Nice defensive stand to wrap up quarter number 3. Japan scores 3 in a row. They lead by 2. It's the World Lacrosse Men's Championship from San Diego. Fourth quarter action coming up after this. Japan offense started to get going in the third quarter after scoring just 2 in the first 30 minutes. They scored the only 3 to take the lead, 5-3. Janucci Suzuki gets on the board as we've seen just 1 goal from the superstars Tateshi and Kanea. They each scored 16 through pool play and just 1 each so far today. 15 more minutes, and the Germans answer back. Goals have been hard to come by in this game. And Japan, against their stiffest competition yet, has battled back from a deficit to take the lead. But Germany with the first offensive possession of the fourth and final quarter from Rady Field. Adam Eakins. Goes to Winton Bastian. Does he like the one-on-one matchup with the short stick? Olters to Werner. Fighting to get topside is Felix Kins. Back up top to Werner. Germany getting everyone involved. Batched and matched up with a long pole. Still fighting for the ground ball. Is just sort of coughed up by Germany. Japan defense flexes their muscle. Now they're in transition with Kutu. Running into midfield. Whistle. Procedure call. German ball. They're off to the races. Alexander Benaisa to Wittmann. Has Volkortsen on the open wing. He pulls it out. Volkortsen still has it. Long pole matches up with him in Sodayama. Anton Nutzmann. Late man on is the midfielder Florian Werner with a couple assists today. Per Olters, the offensive leader for Germany. To Felix Kins, who's contributed in many ways throughout this tournament. Leads his team with 21 ground balls. fourth best in the entire World Championship. Behind the net to Bastian. Tries to get a lane top side. Big kick. One-on-one. Bastian scores! Winton Bastian on the short stick post up. Kota Hanai was pressuring. Winton Bastian leans into that. It looks like he's going to go top, and then the quick foot, quick change of hands, and shoots it lefty. Winton Bastian gets the Germans within one. Big face-off here with 11:40 to go, fourth quarter. Clean win, but heading the wrong way. He goes back to his goaltender. Thought there for a second Ishii didn't know which way he was going. Methodical, as Japan will take their time moving up to mid. Tokumasu to midfield. Volkortsen applying pressure and sails it almost out of play. A good catch by Takeshi. Scratch that, that's Muramatsu. Now he plays it deep to the hero Shinya Tateshi. Muramatsu. Cross to Suzuki. You're hearing those whistles from the field behind me. Puerto Rico taking on England. I don't know if they're picking up on the broadcast. Every time I hear one of those whistles, I think it's coming from this field. But we're so tightly crammed in here at SDSU. So many fields in action, so much lacrosse being played. You'll be on one field hearing a crowd cheer for a goal on another. It's like being at a golf tournament. Hands on the doorstep. Shinya Tateshi dancing in tight. Restores the 2-goal lead. Passed inside by Muramatsu, and you can't leave Tateshi all alone on the doorstep like that. Second of the game for Shinya Tateshi. Another face-off win by Japan as Ishii runs it forward. De Suto. 9 minutes to go. Germany had just made it a 1-goal game. Then Tateshi sneaks underneath of everybody to restore the 2-goal lead. Under 9 to play. Pass down to the crease and an easy tap in as the Japanese offense is starting to look like how they did in pool play. Kanea floats one inside for Okamura as another player finds himself open on the lefty crease. Though Germany just late on these rotations, as you see. Turning their heads, looking, where's the help? Well, Japanese finding a way offensively late in this game here in the fourth quarter. Procedure off the draw off Germany, so Japan gets the ball back again under 8 to go. And we will step aside. It was a German lead that turned into a Japanese onslaught. They have 5 of the last 6. It's 7-4 with 7:50 to go, fourth and final quarter from Rady Field. You're watching the 2023 World Lacrosse Men's Championship on ESPN+. Japan was in uncharted waters earlier today, trailing 3-2 at halftime. Now they lead when it matters the most, 7-4 with 7:42 to go, fourth and final quarter from Rady Field. Playoff action. Winner of this game will get the winner of Haudenosaunee, Hong Kong. That game happening tonight. Loser of this game will play the loser of that game. They jockey for world placement. Japan in possession on offense, looking to keep the tap on and flowing. Kanea fires one wide. Zinoviev still in the pipes. They've split time. Have Zinoviev and Fellenbacher. Japan will try to run it around. Okamura. To Maramatsu. Maramatsu gets around his man, fires one, is wide of the net. Will still remain in possession for Japan. They'll start in the corner. Obana being watched by Wittmann. Obana with 2 goals on the day. Comes around top side, give him a hat trick. And the fist pump for punctuation. Japan up 8-4 now. Back-to-back goals for Kazuki Obana. 5:55 to go. That could be a dagger for the Germans. Start, stops, and there's all he needs is that little bit of separation past the German midfielder, Peter Wittmann. Face-off won by Japan as the onslaught continues back into the offensive zone. Ishii to 43, Kiritsoku. Thanks for tuning us in wherever you are. Is it Tübingen, Germany? I know we've got viewers in Hamburg, Tokyo, all across America. And if you can be here in San Diego, what a sight this tournament has been. Fans lucky to be watching downstairs at field level in a game that Germany was leading. But Japan's quick-footed offense started to win some one-on-one battles and find some men open. Germany sends a double as they start to sense clock against them now. Obana will go for a run. Players looking like they're starting to fatigue a little bit as Wittmann was caught on this hot field. 4 to go. Umahara will bring it around, and the Japanese in no hurry now. Tateshi. Great second half for Japan as their face-off team dominant, and these extended offensive sets making life difficult for the Germans. What a great first half. So this is a big step forward for Japan, who faced some adversity in the first half for the first time. Now running away from trouble. Expect a stall warning to come on soon, as Kanea was right in front of the net and then pulled it out. Tateshi. Timeout, Japan. Four-goal cushion with 3:08 to go. This will be the lowest offensive output for Japan in this championship, which is presented, by the way, by Rady Children's Hospital, one of the top 10 children's hospitals in America, and a proud supporter of this tournament here. We are playing on Rady Field after all. We thank them for their support. We thank you for your support all week long here on ESPN+. Thanks for checking us out at the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. But Japan faced adversity, I feel, for really the first time in this tournament. They trailed at half. German defenders were sliding really well, taking time and space away from the Stars. And adjustments, just I think that some of that athleticism and that speed to find themselves open and find that extra gear here in the fourth quarter to get a couple goals to pull away. And when they have a dominant face-off team, they get these possessions back. And just 3:08 to kill now. No, now the Germans will call a timeout right after that. So Japan will strategize how to play keep away for 3 minutes and what to do if they lose the ball. Germany will try to counter that. And right behind me now, thank you, Josh, England just leading Puerto Rico by a single goal with 8 minutes to go. That would be a monster upset for Puerto Rico to take down a Pool A team. An impressive week for the Puerto Ricans. Australia plays the Netherlands, and another Pool A team getting into the playoffs. And as mentioned, Haudenosaunee and Hong Kong tonight. After this, my eyes will be on Italy and Jamaica. Two teams that have brought the entertainment, brought the fan bases, well-rounded, and some superstars emerging from both those teams. Stone Evans for Jamaica is turning a lot of heads in this tournament as a kid who's still in high school and off to Air Force. And the Italians, who are full of PLL talent. As you hear the crowd erupt behind me, the Puerto Ricans have tied it. And a TV timeout in the fourth quarter at that game. We have 3:07 to go. Japan in possession, trying to waste away this last 3 minutes. And Germany with the ball now. Germany across midfield. Ben Issa, no time to waste. He has to take, fires it. Stings the Japanese goaltender, and Japan closest to the end line with their quick feet. Referees will discuss. They'll blow it in. Clearing to midfield is Kiyoshi Suno. Germany chasing. 10-man ride is on. Zinoviev covers his man. Japan spreading the field. 2:23 to victory. Shogu Oshima. Came in at halftime and only allowed one goal. One more look for Germany in midfield, but they throw it away. Shugo Oshima, 3.8 goals against on average. And he's allowed one here to Germany in the second half, where Japan has scored 6. on Miko Zinoviv. 90 seconds to go. It was dicey there for a minute for Japan, but they've showed resilience. And they're going to have themselves a date with either Hong Kong or Haudenosaunee. Either way, a fantastic matchup tomorrow. As Umahara will put it into the corner. One more dash for Okamura. He's bodied. Ball's jarred free. What a clean game we've had. There's only been a couple flags this entire 60-minute stretch. We have an injured German player on the field as Marius Boots goes down. Been a standout long pole for Germany in this tournament. As the trainers rush out to check on Marius Boots. "50 seconds to victory for Japan." As I recap their week a little bit. Dominating wins over France, Uganda, Wales, and Denmark by a combined score of 70-6. Goals per game, first overall in the tournament, 17.5. Goals against, 1.5. Germany scores 4 today, which is the most that Japan has given up, and 8 is the least that they've scored. This is the closest game Japan's been involved in. Their face-off percentage this tournament, 77%. Their save percentage, 76.9, which is the best in the tournament so far. So as much as you want to talk about their breakout superstars, Shinya Tutaishi and Hiroki Kanea, you cannot underestimate or look past the Japanese goaltending tandem of Soya Tukomasu and Shogo Oshima. They've been fantastic. The poles in front of them as well as Marius Boots not putting a lot of pressure on his legs as he heads off the field. That would be a big loss for Germany should he not be able to compete tomorrow either against the Haudenosaunee or Hong Kong. Japan will take a timeout. They want to make sure they can get out of here with no injuries, everybody intact, as they've got a monster game to start preparing for tomorrow. Well, because of the injury and because possession was not had by any team, they're going to face it off in the German attacking end. Be 18 yards off the end line and a few yards in from the sideline. Well, they'll face it off on the goal line. This is not where I was expecting the face-off to happen. I thought it'd be out more by the restraining line. But the players adjust. For Japan, Kota Hanai will take face-offs. He's taken a few. They've got two main face-off men, and then Hanai, who was 5 for 6 coming into this game. Believe that's his first one today. One more look for Japan. One more goal for Japan. Tokamasu Saburo Tokamasu. 9-4 with 39.6 seconds left. Get a look at the face-off win. Little feed inside. Size matchup there as he shoots over top of his defender. Japan now with their 7th goal of the half to Germany's 1. Beckman will battle at the face-off. One last heroic stance for the Germans today. 30 seconds, ball coughed up at midfield. German bench not happy with the call. And Japan will run away. Kanayama to Oshima. And they will move on to fight another day and increase their shot at climbing up the world rankings. Japan trailed at halftime, and they come out victorious on Rady Field. 9-4, the final score between Japan and Germany. The Germans on the field, wiped and exhausted, as they will now wait for their next opponent and move on to placement rankings. After leading at half, the Germans fall. Japan victorious once again here. The darlings of the tournament will roll on and await the winner of Haudenosaunee, Hong Kong. Your final score from Rady Field, 9-4 Japan. Thank you to Josh and the crew in the truck. Thank you for watching at home. My name is Brad Challoner. More lacrosse action continues all day long here at the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are. Good night in Europe. Good morning in Tokyo. Have a summer. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us. Peace out.